Assalamu alaikum. And by the way, the star attraction this evening are you, the representatives of the Muslim community in Australia. I salute you one and all. And I salute you one and all as our Muslim brothers and sisters who share this land of ours, Australia. I could acknowledge also my parliamentary colleagues. Tony Burke, who you've just heard from, an extraordinary minister of the government. Jason Clare, stand up Jason, everyone can see you. Another extraordinary minister in the government. And we have Darryl Mellom, previously introduced as the Minister for Banks, which would terrify the financial community. But he's a member for banks, and a very good member for banks. Please welcome. Chris Hayes, the member for Fowler, where are you, Chris? Please acknowledge Chris, a very important member of our parliamentary party, as he is our parliamentary whip. The Honourable John Murphy, member for Reid, a good friend of mine for years and years and years. And to all our state parliamentary colleagues and local government representatives, could I also extend my warm greetings to you, as I do to you, the Grand Mufti, Dr. Ibrahim Abu Muhammad, and all the other sheikhs who are with us here this evening. I'm honoured to be in your presence. Friends, it is a pleasure to be here this evening, and a privilege to join you for the breaking of your fast during this, the most holy month of Ramadan. I know that you who have been observing Ramadan over recent weeks will have gained spiritually, personally, and have been strengthened in your faith. And I trust that the remaining days of the month, culminating in the Feast of Eid next week, you will also find these days equally uplifting. My friends, in a nation like ours, formed out of such a multiplicity of cultures and faiths, one of the most generous gestures of friendship is the simple sharing of meals. And I thank you for sharing your meal with me this evening. Around the table, we are united in our most basic humanity, the breaking of bread. Speaking a shared language of welcome, of hospitality, of gratitude and reciprocity. When I've encountered my Muslim brothers and sisters in every country around the world, I've always encountered similar hospitality and friendship and welcome. And I thank you for it. Here in Sydney Southwest, and here in this room, Australia's vision of a multicultural Australia finds its most vivid expression. Two or more languages are spoken in more than half of the homes in these parts of Australia. In fact, almost 7 out of every 10 households in Canterbury are either bilingual or multilingual. In Bankstown, it's getting on for 6 out of every 10. I know there's a lively competition between the two municipalities. About a quarter of all Australians living today were born overseas. In Canterbury City, it's almost 50%. In Bankstown, it's upwards of 36%. So this evening, we are all from all these communities sharing this meal together, friendship. Every day, we are united at a deeper level by our shared love and attachment of this nation we call our home, this nation, Australia. A nation we share with people now from around the world. A nation in which we are all immigrants, save for the first Australians who have been here since time immemorial. A nation that since the colonial era has been shaped by the myriad cultures and philosophies and hard and purposeful work of those who have sought a better life here. The small cross-section of Australia present in this room tonight is as diverse as our nation itself. Australian men and women whose lives are spent building a better city, a stronger community, here in southwestern Sydney, but doing so equally right across the continent of Australia. You are the embodiment, the symbol, the powerful symbol of our multiculturalism at work, and you are therefore lie at the heart of our nation's success. As you know, my friends, around the world, this spirit and this reality of multiculturalism is not present in all countries of the world. In fact, it is present in very few countries in the world. And the fact that we live together in harmony, we live together in mutual respect, we live together with a common love for the nation Australia, is a testament to the strength of the name of Australia in the council of the world. And I thank you for your contribution to that. Multiculturalism is not just a cultural phenomenon. It's an economic phenomenon, a social phenomenon. It's an intellectual phenomenon. And it is therefore at the heart of the richness of modern Australia. We see in these suburbs migrants and those born to migrant families who have come to build our city and our nation suburb by suburb and town by town. It's who we are. It's not a sidebar to our identity as Australians. Since the middle of the last century, 4.5 million of those born elsewhere have given something else to this nation by also taking the deeply significant step of becoming citizens of Australia. So to you, my Muslim brothers and sisters, I come here tonight as a Christian to honour your faith. We are all children of the book, and we share therefore deeply common traditions. I recall in history the shared dialogue between Muslims and Christians and Jews over the centuries and over the millennia. If we look, for example, to the sacred school at Toledo in Spain, the period prior to the 15th century, what you saw then was an extraordinary collaboration between Muslims and Christians and Jews in translating the great literature of the ancient cultures and civilizations of the so-called West. This tradition of working together in the common pursuit of knowledge, in the common pursuit of science, in the common pursuit of a philosophy of love and respect which unites us all, is a great common strength of us all. The differences, by contrast, are very few. As Prime Minister, it was my privilege to appoint Ahmed Fakour, a member of the Australian Muslim community, as Australia's first ambassador to the Organisation of the Islamic Conference, the OIC. He remains our representative there. And through him, and through my own participation later as Foreign Minister, Australia now has observer status at the regular meetings of the Organisation of the Islamic Conference. And you here in this room may be surprised to know that in many countries around the world, many Muslim countries around the world, where people are poor, where people are destitute, and people are in need of help, there are now common aid projects being undertaken by the Government of Australia and the Organisation of the Islamic Conference. Symbol of the green crescent next to the flag of Australia, working together in the name and the cause of our common humanity, assisting Muslims together around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for the opportunity to join you this evening. It's great to be back in this part of Australia. I'll leave early tonight as I must be elsewhere, but as I do so, please accept my best wishes for the remainder of this holy month of Ramadan. Ramadan Kareem.